For years I've been doing something that Rockstar should have been doing if they cared about Red Dead Online. I'm talking about studying players, not some specific Red Dead Online players because it sounds creepy, but player base in general, you know, because it's interesting to find out how much money Red Dead Online players have in general, or how many gold bars, or if they love horse races in this game. Spoiler, no one loves horse races in Red Dead Online, but pretty much everyone loves horses. Anyway, I was searching for answers to all these questions with help of the most traditional method, with help of polls. It sounds the same. Let's begin with voting that shocked me and actually was the reason why I decided to start making all these polls. The question was pretty simple. Have you ever bought gold bars in Red Dead Online? I was expecting that most players will just say no, but look. Yes, not once, 20%. Yes, only special offer, 33%, so totally 53% out of 55,000 were buying gold bars in Red Dead Online at some point. Actually, even more, because 5% choose show result option. And keep in mind, I was making this vote back in December of 2020. So daily challenges were just nerfed, and most players who were taking part in this voting had a chance to earn a lot of gold with help of daily challenges, because yes, back in the days they were really profitable. Actually, a year later I decided to repeat pretty much the same voting and got exactly the same results. And you might say, well, it's the same 50,000 people, but no, it's different people, at least vast majority of them. That's how it works on YouTube. And in Red Dead Online actually people start playing, people leaving, some stay for a long time, but a pretty small percentage. Anyway, what really impressed me in this second poll is that 2% of voters answered yes quite often. It's interesting because in my opinion there is just not enough content to buy gold bars quite often in Red Dead Online. I mean, looking at these results, just think about how profitable Red Dead Online could have been for Rockstar if they were adding content that people want to see in this game and are willing to pay money for. Second poll will be related to daily challenge nerf. I asked, have you ever had a feeling that you need or just want to buy gold bars in Red Dead Online to make process easier? 25% said yes, and they started to play before daily challenge nerf. 40% replied no. So before December 2020 most players didn't have such feeling, but now let's look how it changed. After daily challenge nerf, it seems like more players had such feelings as they want or have to buy some gold bars to make process easier. Anyway, let's move to the next poll because it's about griefers. I asked, will you call someone who attacks a long distance trader delivery a griefer? 22% will do that and call this person a griefer. 13% will be absolutely fine because it's a game mechanic. But for 62% such person is not gonna be a griefer, but for sure. Since we're talking about griefers, we need to mention PvP as well, because it's player versus player. So I asked, PvP in Red Dead Online is? And only 7% replied that is good. And I wanna stop here for a second because it's a really interesting result. You see, for the first year since Red Dead Online was released, Rockstar were focusing on PvP really hard. We were receiving new PvP modes all the time, but not PvE modes. And in a free ROM they tried to force PvP with different mechanics and even daily challenges. It looked like Rockstar wants us to play Red Dead Online the same way people play GTA Online, you know, with constant fighting. But only 7% think that PvP is good in Red Dead Online. On the other hand, 49% thinks that it's okay and only 33% thinks that it's bad. And it seems like 12% don't know that there is a PvP in Red Dead Online. Or maybe they just don't want to know. Now let's find out how wealthy players are in Red Dead Online. First of all, money. Out of 39,000 voters, 38% has less than $2,000. Shocking result, right? Because people tend to believe that everyone in Red Dead Online has millions of dollars and has nothing to spend this money on, but boom, most players are super poor. But let's continue. 17% has something between $2,000 and $5,000. 18% are a little bit more rich, between $5,000 and $20,000. $20,000, another 70% has something between $20,000 and $100,000, and only 10% can be called rich, because they have more than $100,000. But who cares about dollars? Let's talk about real currency of Red Dead Online, gold bars. You probably already know the results. Anyway, out of 79,000 voters, 41% has less than 20 gold bars, and 20% has less than 50 gold bars. As for extremely rich people, there are 15% of the players who have 300 gold bars plus. I was actually really surprised by these numbers, because in my opinion only low-level players have problems with gold bars in Red Dead Online. So immediately, like in a few days, I decided to make a next poll to find out if only low-level players were taking part in this previous poll answering about gold bars. You know, if you make polls one by one in a few days, it will be pretty much the same voters. So only 5% were complete beginners, less than level 20. 13% were between level 20 and 50. 21% is level 50 to 100, and out of 81,000 voters, 49% were between level 100 and 300, which definitely can be considered a high-level player. And I remind you, it's pretty much the same players who don't have gold and money in Red Dead Online. And now let's talk about roles. As for favorite role, for 90% it's a trader, for 12% it's collector, for 3% it's naturalist, surprise, for 56% it's bounty hunter, counting the prestigious bounty hunters upgrade, and for 11% it's a moonshiner. But what about the least favorite roles? You probably guessed. For 7% it's a trader role, for 10% it's a collector, for 70% the worst role is naturalist, and only for 7% the worst role is bounty hunter or moonshiner. But which role players are buying first in Red Dead Online? Knowing results of the previous two polls, answer is really simple: bounty hunter. Yes, 63% are spending their gold on bounty hunter first. As you can see, pretty much no one buys naturalist or moonshiner as a first role. And now let's talk about horses. First of all, I asked, how many horses do you have in Red Dead Redemption 2 Online? 16% out of 47,000 has only one horse, and which is interesting, vast majority, 43%, has 2 or 3 horses. I was pretty sure that most players have a lot of horses in Red Dead Online, not only 2 or 3. And only 13% has all 10 horses. Yes, it's maximum amount of horses that you can have in Red Dead Online, unfortunately. And what about the best looking horse? 8% choose Shire, 17% choose Turkoman, and now get ready, 37% choose Arabian horse. And I was not asking about the most expensive horse or the one that you think is the best in Red Dead Online. I was asking about the best looking horse, and 37% think it's an Arabian. Then we have 23% for Missouri Foxtrotter, and other variants only 15%. And since we're talking about horses, I asked, how often do you join races in Red Dead Online? Only 1% replied often. 8% are joining races sometimes, 12% are joining races sometimes and only for daily challenge, and 78% never take part in races in Red Dead Online. You know, maybe because most of the time it's not even a horse races, people are riding around and shooting each other. Or maybe it's because of pathetic payouts. But what about other activities? For example, PvP Showdowns. Here 4% are joining such activity often, and 17% are joining this activity sometimes, much more than with races. 2% are playing only in hardcore PvP Showdowns, and 15%, pretty much the same number, are playing this activity for daily challenges. And 62% are never joining PvP Showdowns in Red Dead Online at all. But Showdown, series, and even horse races is more like a PvP activities. What about PvE? So I asked, do you do stranger missions? 16% are grinding them for both fun, money, gold, and experience. 21% are grinding them for fun. 7% are grinding stranger missions for only money, gold, and experience. They don't find it fun, but for some reason trying to make money out of these missions, despite the fact that there are much better ways of making money in Red Dead Online. But anyway, 50% just don't play stranger missions at all. Now let's find out what players think about best and worst updates in Red Dead Online's history. First of all, the best update. update. I was actually a little bit surprised here, not because of the winner, which is obviously Frontier Pursuits with 62%, but because Bounty Hunters update got 21% while Moonshiners got only 12%. Maybe it's because Moonshiners update kinda killed all the animals for like 8 months. But there's another interesting thing. Blood Money got 4% while the Naturalist got only 2%, and again I was thinking that Naturalist will be higher in this list, especially since in the next vote, when I was asking about the worst update in Red Dead Online, Blood Money received 69% of the votes, while the Naturalist was on the second place with only 22%. And since we're talking about Blood Money, a little bit of a weird question with unexpected results. Have you ever bought Capitale with gold bars? I was expecting to see like 1% saying yes, but instead 12% out of 49,000 voters said that they were spending gold bars on Capitale. Shocking. Similar results I received when I was asking if people were ever using gold bars to unlock levels in Outlaw Pass or Quick Draw Club. As you can see, 17% said yes. And yes, I understand, a lot of people had no time to play to finish Outlaw Pass and receive the rewards, and usually cool rewards are on the highest level, so they had to buy these levels with gold bars. But why people were buying Capitale? I mean, it's so unnecessary. Capitale is useless and gold is at least a premium currency, and by the way, speaking about that, only 20% thinks that having a premium currency in Red Dead Online was a good idea. Actually, after reading comments under that poll, it looked to me like most people think that it was a fine idea, it was just poorly executed. But we can say the same about many things in Red Dead Online actually. Next question is about platforms that people are playing Red Dead Online on. Obviously, most players are playing on a PlayStation, 31% are playing on Xbox, 20% on a PC, and 1% is playing on Stadia. But now you're probably gonna be surprised. I asked, do you play GTA Online? And 28% replied yes, 59% said no but used to play, and only 13% never played GTA Online. Interesting results, just like the next one. Have you finished Red Dead Redemption 2 Story, not online? 40% finished Red Dead Redemption 2 Story more than once, 35% finished it once, 8% never finished a story despite playing a lot, another 8% have not finished even half of this game, and the most surprising result, 9% of Red Dead Online players haven't played Red Dead Redemption 2 single player at all. And you know what, when I was making this poll, I also haven't finished Red Dead Redemption 2 Story, and it was a mistake. Don't repeat my mistake. Go and finish Red Dead Redemption 2 Story if you haven't done it yet, it's a masterpiece. Next poll also tells us something about Red Dead Online players, because I asked about usual honor level, and 63% usually have high honor in Red Dead Online, while only 22% choose to have a low honor. And you know what it tells us about Red Dead Online players? It tells us only one thing for sure. Red Dead Online players love their horses and feed them all the time. Because yeah, you can kill like 1,000 people and then feed your horse with a carrot and boom, you have high honor. The last question I asked recently, after Rockstar announced that there will be no big updates in Red Dead Online, at least in 2022, but probably never. Anyway, the question was, for you personally, Red Dead Online is dead or not dead? And as you can see, for 21%, after all that happened, Red Dead Online is not dead. Anyway, let me know in the comments what do you think about all these results, and as always, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, stay safe, stay healthy, goodbye.